doing a good job. He's a good guy. Pretty straightforward one. Yeah, it was good.
All right. We're going to start in just a moment.
Jason, you may need to go to that mic.
Excuse me. The mayor has something to say.
Jason, you may want to put that mic closer.
All right. Can you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, and good evening. Tonight is Tuesday, September 9th. It's a little after 7:30. We had come from executive session earlier where we were discussing Teamster negotiations, and we just had a nice reception out in the hallway here and the adjoining areas. We are able to recognize our police force and the various assignments and promotions and appointments that have occurred recently. Before we get started with our normal agenda, which I know is what you're all here for, we're gonna take a few minutes to recognize some of the members of our police force who have recently been appointed or promoted to various roles. So for that, I'm actually gonna come up front. Sorry I had to change locations, but first I am going to ask for Sergeant Elliot Asari to please join us up front. Now, typically we would, sometimes on these we would have a swearing-in ceremony that's already taken place. All right, Asari to the role of Sergeant.
Officer Reader, are you taking it for everybody? Really, thank you.
Congratulations. And picture time. Do we have someone taking pictures?
Right there. And just say, you want to let people know we'll take a break after the 7, and they can take pictures on the dais.
And I should say that after this, we're gonna take a little break after we get through these. We're gonna take a little break to get some pictures. They'll be off for individual pictures and pictures with family. And then it's a tradition that we have here. We're going to invite all of our officers and possibly retirees as well, if they'd like, to take a picture in front of where it says Rybrook. Next up, we have Titus Alexander, who we are very happy to be promoting from the role of detective to the role of sergeant. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Get in there.
No, look over here.
It's cute.
And I should have said before we started, after the sergeant, we had done our 2 sergeants first, but after that we're doing these in the order in which they were either assigned or promoted to those positions, because it's been a little while since we've done this. Next, we have police officer Christian De La Rosa became a detective in June of 2025.
I'll go after. Wait, yeah, 1 minute.
And next, we have one of our newer officers.
Lily, Lily.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, it's cute. I love it.
Next, we have police officer Abel Tavares, who's been assigned as a detective and an SRO. Yeah. Pictures.
Go this way a little bit. Oh, perfect. Yes. Oh, I got 2 kids. I gotta work.
Jaden, come here, Pops.
Ooh. Oh, little guy. Cute.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
That's great.
And next, we have police officer Christian Bautista, who's been assigned as a detective and an SRO. That's it, right? That's it.
Yeah.
I didn't miss anyone. After they finish, I just want to say a few words.
Yep.
And I'll open it up to anyone else. So, and I said, well, we'll have a little bit of time for pictures in just a minute. You know, the people who have been to these before have heard us up here talking about our police force in the village of Rybrook. And, you know, I'm sure I speak for the chief when I say that we are very proud of every single one of our officers, detectives, sergeants. Everyone does an incredible job. We really are blessed to have a true community police force here in Rybrook. And, you know, these moments like this are really something that we look forward to on the board. Knowing that we have a chance to recognize our wonderful police officers. We have the ability to promote from within and allow people to attain higher ranks within the department. We have people who have been here a long time. And it says a lot about the village of Rybrook. It says a lot about how this police department is run. It was, you know, whether it was under our retired chief, Greg Austin, now with our current chief, Eric Dengler. You know, we're very lucky here in Rybrook, and I just want to say congratulations to all of you who we recognize today, and a huge thank you to all of you who show up, come here, and serve in the village of Rybrook on a daily basis. Thank you all so much. I would also say, you know, on a personal note, we've added the student resource officers fairly recently, where we've actually had an agreement with the Portchester School District, and it's been such a positive influence because it's an officer in that school getting to know those kids, you know, and really getting to help out. So much so that the school district added a second SRO. And so it just shows how much of an impact and a positive impact that we're having on the community. So again, thank you all. And I'd open this up to comment from the board.
I really can't say thank you more often than the mayor has because it's just not that interesting. But I would invite you to look around the room. This is America. What you see, this is our country. Thank you. Stay safe.
I want to say that I see a lot of you patrolling all the time, and I don't always know who's in the car, but I want to say that I know that I'm watched. I know that I see you, and we are grateful for you and the fact that you add such value to our community. So thank you. And what I didn't say was congratulations to all of you that have been elevated, and we are very lucky to have all of you.
So my name is Don Crum. I'm the newest trustee, but I just want to say thank you to the families too, because I know your loved ones work shift work sometimes and are away sometimes on difficult times, and I just found it very heartwarming to realize how much support that these officers have, and so thank you to the families too. Thank you.
I sit here and I look at everybody. I say, this is one big family. It's great to see everybody get together to honor and respect these officers, and the responsibility that they have is truly remarkable. And I can just want to say congratulations to all of you that were promotions, appointed, what do we call them, assignments, and
And I'd just like to say, when I think of the police department, I think about just the special relationship that you have with the residents in the community, and the difference that you make in people's lives. You know, it's something that's really special, and you don't see it everywhere. And this is something that, you know, I look back and I look at the events that we hold, and I see officers that walk around, you know, handing out sunscreen or just making connections or just being at the events and talking to children and their parents that are there. And that makes such a difference in the community. I know the community really loves the police department, and I know it's because of what you've done and the relationship that you've built up over the years to really make that connection. So thank you.
I just wanted to say one thing. We do have some
Microphone.
special people here, but I just want to re-congratulate Detective Lazala. He was awarded the School Resource Officer of the Year, so it was pretty.
Well, again, thank you all for your service, and thank you for everyone for coming out tonight to support everyone here who is being recognized. We are going to take a little break now. If you want to take some more pictures, we're also going to ask everyone, you know, all of our officers to come on up here. We're going to get a picture. I'm going to fold stuff down here.
8 o'clock?
And we'll move stuff. Yeah, maybe we'll give you about 10 minutes if that's okay. And we'll reconvene for our normal meeting at 8 o'clock, which I'm sure you're all going to be thrilled to stay for.
You guys should put your mics down. Just put that mic down a little bit. Get out of the pictures, yeah.
All right, here. To the platform.
Let's move these chairs out.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. do that.
Do the best you can, right?
Yeah. Do the best we can.
Okay. That's a great idea. I like that. Justin in the middle.
Still on the floor, ready?
Where's Titus?
Oh, he's your head Titus. Titus.
Actually,
All right, guys, you ready? All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Everyone. Tired, guys. AJ. Which camera? Can you get Justin?
Hold on, another one. Watch out, push your fall down. A lot of pictures.
Yeah, no, I'm just looking at one camera, that's what it's going to be. I'm trying to figure out which one's going online.
It's going up on the wall.
John, in the mic's
one of them has to have a goal.
Yeah, one of them's got to have one. Teamwork.
Get out of here.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations.
Alright, can we take these off now?
Wait. If you need, I'm next door. We told her I sent you 2 weeks after that. Yeah. It's been there for
This fucking guy. This fucking guy. I have a bottle of Sanguinox in my car. You want to have some later?
It's liquid, sir? Yeah, I have some pudding and liquid. I gotta make that something. Do you know if there's anybody that actually sells that? I don't know about selling it, but I told you my cousin brought it from Italy and I ate it. You can't bring it out last I know, but he brought it. It was the pudding. That's an old
Thank you.
I got you. Where's Carla? Carla.
Okay, be careful, Bobby. Slow. No.
Slow?
Tania, pero qué sorpresa. Yo me imaginé. No, yo me lo imaginé. Yo me lo imaginé. Yo dije, Tania, va a venir.
Que no puedo.
Yo tengo las flores. Yo tengo las flores.
Ven, tío Luis, ven. Brandon, come here. We get everybody in the building.
Oh, sí. Gracias.
Okay, Brandon, come on. Lalo, ven. You want some? You want to come up? You can take a picture of me too. You take a picture of you. Lalo, ven. You want to do one together? Oh, wow. Come on. Oh, yeah, we got to do one for Paul, right? Okay, Chris, where's my mother? You make it so personal.
Voy with your phone.
Tania, ven. Huye, huye. All right, Titus, it's yours. Sorry.
She's such a joke. Ella siempre está.
I know, wait, bebe una más. No, go ahead. Titus, you good? Tenemos que esperar. Tú estabas en el pipi room.
No, no he ido al pipi room.
Más limpio ese baño. Cuando tú vas a salir por ahí, tú vas a ver el nombre. Ven, no te metas en el
You're his age. And I like that you were brave enough to wear the Giants hat.
Carla, ella que manda la vida de nosotros. Ella que asegura que nos salga bien. She's in charge. The boss. All right?
Oye, ¿tú no te vas a quitar la ropa?
Wow, but I love also the.
That way I can kind of announce I think we need one of these. Here, I'll move this one down.
Wow, oh, that's great.
Sal. All right, in a minute, we're going to resume. It is, I got to use that one. That one was louder. In a minute, we're going to resume our meeting. I would ask You're welcome to stay, or you can continue in the hallway.
Try this. I was just going to say, tell them we reserve the right to call on anybody to speak that stays in the room. That will usually clear the room.
Right. Staying for the public hearing?
Where's everybody going?
Where's everybody going? I thought everyone was here for the public hearing.
John, good job. You're staying. Peter, good job.
Yeah, you both deserve an award.
We just came to that part.
All right, thank you. We appreciate it.
What? Oh, that's my bag. That's a bomb. No, this is my laptop. That
looks like the change.
That's my laptop.
Tell you guys something earlier before you start recording again.
We may be, just so you're aware. I don't know whether we are or aren't.
We're not sure.
Well, then I'll actually say it on the microphone then. So, 3 weeks or so ago, I put in Jerry Applebaum for a posthumous award through AAA for being on the traffic commission for 30 some odd years.
Yep.
He got the award.
Nice.
So,
Very nice.
October 7th, we're going to be presented with the award at their luncheon out in at the Garden City Hotel. I forget if it's in Garden City, but I'm just going to reach out to his son-in-law and whomever is still surviving.
Great.
To let him know.
Nice.
Oh,
I
that's
forgot to
good.
mention that earlier.
Did you mention where you're going tomorrow?
No. Well, I think I did tell the mayor.
Yeah, it's,
Okay.
it's for the accreditation,
The
right?
accreditation council meeting tomorrow. Yeah. So myself and Michael Curry will be up there to get our plaque and whatever else from the accreditation council that we've been reaccredited.
Very good.
Great.
So, all right. I won't interrupt any longer.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief. All right.
Wait, you changed.
How do we? I'm assuming we're still recording.
I don't know. You should wait for Fred to call. I can call him myself.
Okay.
Jesus. Fred, it's killing me.
Full regalia.
Yeah, we should just make sure of that.
I hear you.
Are you able to contact?
Well, there you go.
Hey, Fred.
I do think that when we redo it.
Okay, thank you. All right, we can start. All right, so thank you for those of you who remain. I'm amazed that all those people didn't want to stay to hear about all the amazing things happening in the village of Rybrook. So we are going to launch into our normal agenda here. So we're starting with a public hearing. So our one and only public hearing on a proposed local law amending Chapter 240-20.1 of the Village Code concerning overnight parking licenses at Ellendale Avenue. So can I have a motion and a second to open the public hearing, please?
Motion.
So moved.
Second.
Sorry.
I guess, Chris, you're calling roll tonight.
Yep. Trustee Epstein?
Yes.
Trustee Heiser?
Yes.
Trustee Crom?
Yes.
Trustee Morlino?
Yes.
Mayor Klein?
Yes, thank you. Our public hearing is open. Chris, maybe a little background. I know we discussed this at one of
Sure.
our previous meetings.
Yeah, this is very, very simply, we have some off-street parking that when we built the Public Works and Parks facility, we took away some street spaces. So instead, what we did to provide that back, and actually more than what we're giving back, more than what we took away, we provide some off-street spaces through permits at the parking area off of Ellendale Avenue. When we first started, we weren't kind of sure what time they should start, so we started at 10:30 to 7:30. You could park, so that's kind of late for people. The residents have asked, could we move it back to start at 7 o'clock, and we're all fine with that. So if there's snow, they move, so it's really not an issue. So it just allows them to, when they get home from work, they can park there and not have to move it again later that night.
Right. Certainly it makes a lot of sense. And again, like you said, this was kind of a test period. And now we've gotten to a point where we know exactly what our needs are at the new facility, and we can accommodate this. This is a public hearing. Do we have any comments from the public on this issue? Seeing none, do we have any comments from the board? Seeing none, can I have a motion and second to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Second.
Trustee Epstein?
Yes.
Trustee Heiser?
Yep.
Trustee Crom?
Yes.
Trustee Morlino?
Yes.
Mayor Klein?
Yes, thank you, Chris. Let's move right into the resolution. Resolution number 1, considering adopting a local law amending Chapter 240-20.1 of the Village Code concerning overnight parking licenses at Ellendale Avenue.
Whereas the Village Code allows for 6 overnight parking licenses on Ellendale Avenue at the Public Works and Parks facility, and whereas a proposed local law was introduced on August 19th to amend the Village Code regarding the time allowed for vehicles to be parked in the overnight parking spaces, and whereas the Board of Trustees held a public hearing on the proposed local law on September 9th, after which time anyone could be heard, and the public hearing was closed on September 9th. And whereas proposed action is an unlisted action pursuant to seeker, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby adopts the proposed local law to amend the Village Code concerning overnight parking licenses on Ellendale Avenue.
Thank you, Chris. Can I have a motion and second, please?
Motion.
Second.
Any further comment on this? Okay.
Trustee Epstein?
Yes.
Trustee Heiser?
Yes.
Trustee Crom?
Yes.
Trustee Morlino?
Yes.
Mayor Klein?
Yes, thank you. Resolution number 2, considering a resolution in support of the Intermunicipal Airport Master Plan Task Force recommendations.
So before we read the resolution,
Yes.
do you want to have a report?
Yeah, and before we get to the resolution, please, we're lucky to be joined tonight by John Mugno and Peter Schlachtis, who have been serving in their capacity for the village, representing the village of Rybrook, both within our own airport task force, but also the county's airport task force, and we really appreciate all of your efforts on that. And I should also say that this is in relation to an intermunicipal task force that was created in response to the county's master plan efforts that the village of Rybrook helped put together. And we're very lucky to have had a good number of municipalities that signed on to that. Please, gentlemen.
Thank you. I'm John Mugno. That's Peter Schlachtis. We're here to present the proposed municipal task force resolution to you. Get closer. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Lift it up a little.
It's more for the people at home. We can certainly hear you, but the recording, I think, should be getting you now. Yes.
All right, good.
Thank you.
I'll move closer. All right, I just want to go over a little history because not all of you were here. The Rybrook Board voted to establish this intermunicipal task force in January 2024. And then Chris appointed Peter and I as the Rybrook representatives, and he sent out solicitations to join us to several other municipalities, and 6 of them joined with us. So our municipal task force is basically a 7-municipality group with 2 representatives from each municipality. We then organized ourselves such that we had to form of those 14 people 4 to be on an executive committee. Peter and I got the winning lottery tickets, so we're 2 of those people. And the 2 people of those 4 were made co-chairs. And I was one of the grand prize winners. So that's what we are here and how we represent this group. The task force was given 2 goals. Draft a position paper for all municipalities to comment on the master plan supplement. That's what we're here for today. And then secondly, advise specifically on the upcoming expiration and renewal of the terminal use agreement. We did that task in the first half of 2025, and this 24, yes, sorry, 24, 6 months after we were appointed, and the board approved the resolution, as did all the other municipalities, and then Chris sent it on to the county government. The one thing I'd like to say, and I think it was successful, we're going to add a little bit to our EMS capabilities because of it. But what was interesting, and a point I want to make, is that only 3 of the municipalities were affected by the EMS cost reimbursement issue. Yet, all 7 signed on. None raised any objections to the request for reimbursement. And the reason I point this out is that is the spirit in which the 7 municipalities worked together. You're going to see we had some issues that not too many people were interested in, but one municipality was really interested. So that's on the list. Everybody's going to vote for it. So I think it's been a pretty successful pattern there. It's good working group, and the group had, in my opinion, very high quality people appointed to it, as we'll see from the kind of briefing papers they wrote. Now, the 8 issues were essentially focused on the main categories of the master plan. And those of you who kind of follow airport events and maybe are annoyed by certain things about the airport will note that the voluntary restraint from flying curfew, voluntary curfew, is not part of this resolution. The reason it isn't is it isn't part of the master plan. And secondly, that is a very tough road to go down to figure out what you can do. If you want to tackle that issue, I would recommend setting up a separate group to just look at that issue, because in my view, that's a very tough road. So in the resolution, we've attached, they're embedded links to the various position papers. But let me just, in case you want to talk about any particular issue or have some questions, just review for you what the 8 issues are. The first was to affirm or reaffirm the no expansion at the airport policy that's been the long-standing policy of the county government. This, however, you'll see, didn't stop the group from making recommendations about modernizing and improving the passenger experience at the main terminal and in examining what is appropriate for the water detention system. I mean, we got 2 big maintain passenger limits. But this, as you know, has been the subject of 2 legal decisions or 2 legal actions in the past 30 days. And that's what makes this a little bit unclear what the position of the county is and what the county plans to do about fixed base operations being used by effectively passenger aircraft. Also, we want to make sure we protect light aviation access, because basically light aviation is more local people with their own aircraft and they're less noisy. So you want to keep them having the space they need to operate out of the airport. But we also think it's reasonable to agree to some modernization of these private terminals, because some of them are apparently in very, very poor condition. Those are the first 4, and then the fourth of the first 4 is traffic. This is not a big impact on Rye Brook. It's a very big impact on the communities north of us. And the person who wrote that study did police reports, has very concrete suggestions about what the county could do, including, say, a traffic study in the northern part. The next 4 issues are all of a more scientific or technical sense, and we were very fortunate to have on the task force people who had knowledge of these issues. The first is noise, and the resolution advocates for more community involvement. This is approaches in the resolution, because one of the things we feel is the county government doesn't reach out enough when it wants to make a decision. And these people want, maybe it's a standing committee or some other vehicle for getting feedback when things are changing. They want more frequent updating of reports about noise, better data collection about noise, and in particular, the noise impact of specific types of aircraft, because the types of aircraft have been changing over time, and they think that's something worth keeping in mind when you study noise issues. The next category was air quality. And here there are the recommendation is the air should be monitored both outside the airport perimeter and at the terminal. There's been a lot of academic studies that pollution at terminals is quite high because you've got planes kind of starting up or keeping their engine running when they're at the terminal. This is likely to end on its own at Westchester because they're getting some electrical batteries to start planes when they're at the terminal gate. But still, it's important to remember this. Groundwater quality. What we want there, the essential recommendation is include so-called forever chemicals, PFAS chemicals, in the groundwater monitoring. Make the groundwater monitoring not only on the airport, but on potable wells around the airport's perimeter that are on private property, to figure out where these chemicals have migrated to, if in fact they have migrated. But that testing needs to occur as well. And then there had been a brownfield cleanup program initiated by the Department of Environmental Conservation in 2020. And the feeling on the task force was that needs to be pursued with more vigor. So they're basically saying that's one of the big recommendations. I've summarized these. There are several more recommendations on each of these topics, but let me just finish up with the stormwater basins, which is important for us. And if you ask the people from Rice City why they're on the committee, what's their issue, they had 3 reasons. They were very humorous. Water, water, water. That's our reasons. The issue is this. They have 2 basins, but they may not be maintaining them as well as they could be maintained. And there's space for, and there had been apparently an original plan for, a 3rd detention basin, which would enable them to better control the release of stormwater going downstream. And the person who looked into this, and there's a lot of data in the briefing paper, is actually an environmental engineer who runs her own consulting firm. So it's very knowledgeable. In closing, I'll give you a chance to ask questions, but I just want to say one thing, and Peter and I both very much agree on this. The task force members worked well together, and we think it's very important to have advocacy when there are mutual issues and you can bring communities together, municipalities together, need I say voters together, to advocate for a particular position. Thank you. We recommend adoption of the resolution. Any particular comments or questions we can answer?
First off, I would just want to say thank you to the both of you and to everyone who participated in this committee. I mean, it certainly was no easy task. Looking at the master plan, trying to look at these issues individually and as a whole, bringing these communities together to really create this unified voice. And we really just want to say thank you on behalf of all of the residents of the village of Rybrook, because, and all of the other municipalities, even those that may not have participated in this, because, these recommendations hopefully can be followed. And we would certainly urge the county to look at these, read through these, and really strongly consider a lot of the recommendations. Hopefully they will see the amount of time and effort that went into this, essentially getting some free consulting work for them, done for them. But, to try and improve the conditions as they look at the airport moving forward into the future. So just thank you both. And I know I speak for myself, where I will wholeheartedly vote in favor of us adopting this resolution in support of these comments.
Thank you so much for your hard work. We are indebted to you. So thank you for your expertise and all your time, and to the time of all the other experts. Please share that with them, because they're not going to watch our meeting. Where are we putting this information for the residents to read?
They're on the website, the
It
village's
is.
website.
What is the best way for us to promote it in your eyes?
Go ahead.
Well, Well, that's a good question.
I mean, well, the first step is we want to get the resolutions from all 7 municipalities. That's the first step.
Right.
And then we're going to be providing that as a package to Westchester County, to the administration, share it with our legislators, and to say, listen, this is not a Rybrook issue. This is not another neighboring community. This is a collective concerns, issues, things that they should be thinking about for the future of the Westchester County Airport and the impacts on any of the neighboring municipalities and the county as well. The airport's an asset in many ways. It really is. But we also want to make sure that, the issues that have been raised in the report are also addressed in a very comprehensive and professional way. I just have to comment, too, this task force worked so hard. I mean, the level of expertise, the level of meetings and sub-meetings and the chairs and what's the 4 subgroup group called? What was that called?
Oh, the executive.
The executive committee. They went through draft after draft, looked at all the details. The reports are really extensive, and I just got to say, I was so impressed with how much work went into that. And I do just want to give a small thank you to Greg Rivera, who set up the meetings for the task force and kind of made sure that the nuts and bolts part of it was taken care of so that you guys could do that together. But you guys, both of you guys and all the other volunteers just have done so much for your community. So thank you so much.
Thank you. You want to say a few words, Peter?
Go ahead, please, Peter. Please.
I've been cutting you off for a long time, Sal.
Yes, I know that.
Sal and I got to work together for many years in the local Cub Scout pack. So yeah,
a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Good times.
I just, John did a wonderful job of framing what the task force is and what it's done, and so I'm just going to try to limit myself to a few sort of big picture comments. The first is to thank John, because while, yes, I played a role, this really was shepherded through by John, and very ably so. So I really, thank you, and we all owe him a big debt. I also
John didn't write the papers.
Nope.
John
And
got
I
the
want
other
to thank
people
Greg,
too.
who was with us every step of the way, providing all the logistical support and communication support. He even got on at one point from Europe at like 1 a.m. his time to make sure that when one of these recent last-minute developments came up, we were able to meet in time to be ready to present to you today. So he really has gone above and beyond. But it's true. It's true that this was a group effort, and most of the, in fact, all of the position paper. I mean, there are a tremendous number of worthy recommendations that I do hope that the county gives proper time and attention to. And the vast majority of them came from the efforts, not of us. You might have expected Rybrook to be at the forefront. And we were, in editing and guiding and suggesting, but it was wonderful to see people from all of these municipalities step up and really contribute and get engaged and get educated. And that is arguably, big picture, the biggest achievement of the task force, is even above and beyond the specifics of the recommendation. It's the engagement that was fostered amongst people in neighboring communities, and the foundation that we've laid, hopefully, for bringing those communities together going forward as needed on airport issues. So, again, hopefully this is a foundation we can build upon, whether it's the VRFF or, the next thing that comes up, because the one thing we know about the airport is there will be a next thing. So anyway, I'll leave it at that, other than, if you'll beg your pardon, and I'm going to go off topic for 1 second, just on a personal thank you to Chris and your team for resolving a local parking snafu in my neck of the village. But that meant going back and doing research into original site plans and zoning, and our whole neighborhood is grateful to you and the village for taking care of that. So we're happy to try to give back a little.
Thank you, Peter. Trustee Morlino.
Yes, first of all, thank you both for the hard work that you're doing, and thank your other staff, the members that helped you, and all the other communities. The watershed question, very interesting. Now, they must be monitoring, because that's a watershed area there next to the airport. Wouldn't they be monitoring that quite substantially and be?
They do, but
because the airport's on that side, right?
Yeah, the issue is coming downstream. Sorry, the issue is for the detention ponds. Largely, the water coming downstream to Rye Brook, Rye City, Town of Rye, all those places, and that's where these detention ponds play a critical role. And the question is, are they sized properly for the types of rainstorms we've been having in the recent past? And people expect to have them worse in the future, heavier rainstorms.
Because when they discharge, they go into the Blind Brook. That's the connection. I just want to make sure.
So are you getting support from the watershed environmentalists and all the environmental?
We didn't really talk to them about that.
Okay. And then I guess fines are out of the question for noise, because that's really probably the big issue there, right?
Yeah.
So are fines something that can be implemented? They'll probably laugh at you, right?
See, that would be, it's
Hard
not part
to
of the master plan, right? So it kind of goes off topic a bit. But it is something you might want to do. But I think it would also, like the curfew, be a very difficult road to go down. And you'd need a lot of legal power to figure out what you could do there.
Can I add
Yeah,
Help
go
me
ahead.
involve the FAA too.
Right.
Yeah, so the bottom line is what happens in the skies over and in and out of the airport is really not up to the county. It's if you build it, you must let them come. So as long as they're not violating, federal law, and the airport is capable of safely and securely handling operations, then there's not much that can be done. What the county controls most of all is what gets built and built out and renovated at the airport. So it's the infrastructure at the airport that the county can control, and that's what the master plan focuses on.
Because that's the control we got.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And
Yep.
while I'm at it, I would be remiss not to say that we did make a point of referring at multiple times the resolution work to the Village Airport Advisory Council. We got feedback at a somewhat earlier stage, much of which, good feedback, of course, from our members, much of which was incorporated into the resolution. And quite recently, when the final text came together, we referred it back to the members. There wasn't time to create a formal meeting, but we got feedback again. And with one exception, all of the feedback was supportive. There was some controversy over how best to have wording about that legal case that John was referring to that has just been decided at the appellate level, although there still may be legal steps to come there. And changes were ultimately made to the draft that you got just today that that reflected those concerns to make sure that the village and other municipalities weren't advocating for something that had been the subject of a recent adverse legal decision. So that's pretty much. But other than that, all the comments we got back from the council were supportive.
Thank you. Trustee Heiser.
I am unable to thank the other 12 members of the task force. But John and Peter, I would like to thank you for your efforts and your concern about the quality of life for all our residents. It is greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Crum.
I'll echo my colleagues' comments. Again, to you two, the executive committee, and all the 7 villages that participated. I just want to say I've been monitoring from afar the airport for at least 10 years and various fire drills, and not to pat your group necessarily too much on the back, because what happens with it matters also, but this is the best work product I have seen. I guess I shouldn't be surprised at the level of professionals that volunteered their time. But what I'm impressed with is what I've seen before in the past is people jump up and complain about and say scary things without a lot of foundational support. But you're saying, what do we want to see proactively and specifically and professionally? I just can't say enough that how impressed I am. And thank you for your leadership. Thank you for all the supporting work. I'm not surprised there was attorneys, engineers, environmental consultants. Please, if there's any way to pass this on, it's just an amazing, you're saying it's foundational, and I think that's right. Please, county, if you're listening to this, this is excellent work product, and it represents 7 villages, municipalities, I should say. Thank you.
And the next step has to be, quite honestly, the next step has to be, quite honestly, the 7 municipalities that have passed the resolution, after a passage of some time, have to, with one voice, go to the county government and say, what are you doing?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's a step that's the political step.
Yeah. Well, that's the one we need, right?
Yeah. And I would.
Because the vote is going to matter here.
I have one other question, just because we keep mentioning the municipalities. I just want to say them by name. The municipalities that participated in this in alphabetical order, because that's the way they're listed on the resolution, is the town of Greenwich, the town of Newcastle, the town of North Castle, the village of Portchester, the village of Rybrook, Rye City, and the town of Rye. And those are the municipalities that participated in this. As a quick question for the public, can you enlighten us where the county master plan process stands?
You had to ask. I'm not going to say it's a closely guarded secret, but at this point, I hate to say it, but your guess is as good as mine. The county, the last I heard, and I suppose if it hasn't been shared more widely, I should share with you now. I am no longer a member of the County Airport Advisory Board as of July, but Rybrook is and the town of Rye is ably represented by our former mayor Sal Crescenzi, who remains a member of the board. And the new folks who have joined the Airport Advisory Board, seem to be conscientious and capable as well. That said, I've been to every one of those meetings, and the county is as clear as mud about that as to the timetable. So it is still in the works, we are told. Modeling, which granted is been difficult in the COVID and post-COVID era, modeling what market forces are going to do to shape demand, is ongoing. And at that point, we can only hope that the public input process that was promised by the former county executive will be honored by the current and the elected county representative after the elections in November.
Thank you. And then, I think you will certainly. I foresee us passing this resolution tonight in support of this, and so the village of Rybrook will now be putting our support behind this. Chris, this is probably a question for you, or I guess for the two of you. Do you know where the other municipalities stand?
Newcastle is also reviewing it tonight, their board.
And Portchester has approved it already.
Yeah.
Portchester is already approved. Okay, so it would be my suggestion that once all of the municipalities have passed this resolution in support, that we collectively whether it be via a press conference or whether we march into the county executive's office. We somehow have a formal handing over ceremony of being able to say, here are the municipalities that came together to support this. Here is, we are acting as one unified voice of, this is what your residents immediately surrounding the airport are really hoping that you will incorporate into your master plan.
How it gets delivered,
If
you're
you
right,
want
you're
to
right there.
maximize political pressure, do it publicly.
Yes,
March
I was
into-
just,
march into his
I was
office,
just going to say that,
somebody
do
will
it
let you know.
publicly. Yep, at one of the meetings.
Seriously.
No, I know.
No, but how it gets delivered is important. It's
Yes.
not just sending an email or sending it that way.
No.
It needs to be
No.
delivered
No,
appropriately.
this should be a press conference,
Yep,
in my opinion.
yeah. Let it out there. Don't think twice about how they vote on it.
All right, any other comments from the board?
No.
Or questions? Again, we thank you
Thank
for
you.
all of the work that you've done on behalf of the Village of Rybrook, all the work that every member of this committee has put in. I mean, the next step is the hard part. This was the hard part, putting everything together, but the next step is, how do we make sure that this is listened to? How do we make sure that these voices are heard? Not that it's, okay, thank you, rubber stamp, hand it over. So, and a lot of that is on us to try and make sure that we, like you said, we make sure that this does not go forgotten.
So if you need any help administering or sending it off, let us know.
Yeah, and if you find that things are progressing and we may not be attuned to, certainly let us know, which I know you will.
Right.
So,
Thank you.
we appreciate everything. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll think about what's the best way. Maybe
Yeah,
with-
good
with
idea.
Chris
Yeah.
about how to make it.
Present it.
Make a presentation by all 7 municipalities.
Absolutely.
Let's think about that.
If you can get them all together, go to a meeting, that would be great.
Oh, we've been pretty successful so far.
Good.
Absolutely. All right.
Thank you.
Bravo.
Yes.
All right, so Chris,
Thank
I
you
think
again.
we need the resolution.
Yes, we do. It's a rather lengthy resolution. It's about 5 pages and then all the reports that were talked about today are also linked within the resolution, which is all available on our agenda and on the our backup on our agenda. Would the board like me to summarize it?
Yes.
In more of a summary form?
I think so.
Can't read
I
the
can
whole
do
thing.
that. I've prepared a summary form.
And we should say that the full resolution is available on the village's website.
Yep.
And as
And-
Chris just said, so are all of the position papers.
Yep, all the links to the position papers are there as well. So, okay, I'm going to read resolution in support of the Intermunicipal Airport Master Plan Task Force recommendations. Whereas the Intermunicipal Airport Master Plan Task Force was created by elected officials from the City of Rye, Village of Rybrook, Village of Portchester, Town of Rye, Town of Greenwich, Town of Newcastle, and Town of North Castle to provide unified recommendations for the county's upcoming airport master plan supplement. And whereas the task force comprised of community volunteers with expertise in government law, aviation, engineering, and planning, recognizes both the economic benefits of the county airport and the need to balance them with the protection of community health, safety, and the environment. And whereas the task force has identified critical issues, including but not limited to limiting airport development expansion to protect water quality, air quality, noise levels, and community safety, improving the commercial passenger experience without enlarging terminal capacity, enhancing compliance with the voluntary nighttime flying curfew, addressing traffic impacts on residential streets, reducing noise through monitoring, community engagement, and quieter technologies, monitoring and mitigating air pollution, groundwater and contamination, and stormwater impacts. And whereas the task force July 10th, 2025 report outlines the principal recommendations, including number 1, airport development, uphold longstanding county policy against physical or operational expansion with deviations only for safety, sustainability, or legal compliance, and only with clear justification to protect the fragile environment surrounding the airport. 2, passenger experience, improve check-in, TSA, baggage, and waiting areas without exceeding the legal cap of 440 passengers per half hour, addressing parking shortages through better communication, transit, and enforcement. 3, fixed-based operations, enforce curfew adherence, apply terminal rules for larger carriers, preserve access for light general aviation, and modernize hangars only under strict conditions. 4, traffic and safety. Conduct studies of cut-through traffic on local residential roads and work with law enforcement and technology partners to reduce impacts. 5, noise mitigation. Expand noise monitoring and transparency. Encourage quieter aircraft, providing soundproofing and disclosures in high-noise areas, and maintain anti-expansion policy. 6, air quality. Monitor ultrafine particles and lead, reduce terminal emissions, and prepare for conversion to unleaded fuel. 7, groundwater protection. Continue sampling, expedite the brownfields cleanup program, and provide potable wells from PFAS and other contaminants. 8, stormwater management. Updated permits to address PFAS. Expand detention basins for climate-driven flooding, and coordinate with downstream communities. Now, therefore, be resolved that the Village of Rybrook Village Board hereby endorses and supports the principal conclusions and recommendations of the Intermunicipal Airport Master Plan Task Force as set forth in its July 10th, 2025 report. Be it further resolved that the Rybrook Board urges Westchester County to incorporate these recommendations into the revised Airport Master Plan, prioritizing protection of the community, health, safety, and environmental resources. And be it further resolved that the Rybrook Village Board encourages Westchester County to consider the entirety of the task force report, including the accompanying position papers, to engage with the task force to address its findings. And be it further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution, together with the task force report, shall be transmitted to the County of Westchester and the governing bodies of the participating municipalities.
Thank you, Chris. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
Motion.
All right. Any further comments from the board? Again, I would just say thank you for all of your efforts on this. Like I said, for one, I am wholeheartedly backing this resolution, and then we will once we've gotten resolutions from all the municipalities, we'll find that way to really, hand it over with a bang. All right, Chris.
Trustee Epstein?
Absolutely, yes.
Trustee
Thank you.
Heiser?
Absolutely, positively, yes.
Trustee Crom?
Simply yes.
Trustee Morlino?
Yes.
Mayor Klein?
Yes, thank you. So this resolution is passed, and we'll see, and we'll wait to hear from the other municipalities, who I would imagine will have this resolution passed in fairly short order when their meetings come up.
Except the Greenwich. They have a very different.
Yes, we know the town of Greenwich has a very different system than the municipalities in Westchester with the RTM.
Everybody should be done in September, with the exception of Greenwich. They'll be done early October.
Okay.
Not too far.
Thank you.
That's
And for
good.
those who may not have heard that, and Omi was just saying that most of the municipalities will have this resolution passed in September. Greenwich may be a little bit later because of the way that the system is set up with the RTM. So, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you
Great
very
job.
much.
All right, moving along, resolution number 4. Nope, sorry. Resolution number 3, I almost skipped one. Resolution number 3, considering a request for a child with autism and pedestrian advisory signs.
Whereas the Village of Rybrook has received a request from Tara Solar of 3 Whittemore Place for child with autism signage, and whereas in accordance with the Manual of Uniform Traffic Control Devices, which is called the MUTCD, each child with autism sign must be accompanied by a pedestrian sign, and whereas these advisory signs are also only allowed if all of the following conditions exist: 1, that the child with autism is under age 18. 2, the traffic volume is under 2,000 vehicles. 3, the speed limit is 35 miles per hour or under. And 4, the street is residential. And whereas in order to consider this request, the village was provided with the following required documentation from the parent making the request: A, a physician statement identifying the disability. B, state the understanding that the sign will be removed when the child reaches 18. C, provide proof of the child's date of birth. D, state the understanding that the signage provides no guarantee of their child's safety and that they remain responsible for monitoring their child's activities. E, a commitment to notify the public agency in a timely manner of any positive changes in their child's impairments, for example, or, there's examples that are provided. F, a commitment to notify the public agency in a timely manner of any relocation to another place of residence. And whereas this location at 3 Whittemore Place, with 3 roadways converging at the property, the village has determined that 3 poles with 2 signs on each pole must be installed to cover all the directions and in advance of the location of 3 Whittemore Place. And whereas after consideration of all the conditions and submission of the above documentation, the administrator and superintendent of public works recommend the village board approve these advisory signs. And now therefore be resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the installation of child with autism signs and pedestrian signs near 3 Whittemore Place and authorizes the superintendent of public works to install the 3 poles with 2 signs on each pole on the 3 roadways in advance of the location at 3 Whittemore Place.
Thank you, Chris. Can I have a motion and second, please?
So moved.
Second.
And are there people for this that would like to speak? If you'd like, you can come up, please.
As you can tell, I'm mom because I'm super emotional. Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for your consideration on this. I'm really concerned for my daughter's safety. She has no sense of danger, no awareness of it. Will literally just dart from the front of the house right into the middle of the street and not even realize she's in the middle of the street. And she's fast. And I thought I was fast, but she's fast. So that's just pretty much where I'm coming from. And just the position of my house, like, I have Whittemore and then I have Woodland, and I'm just kind of in the middle of that. And we have a stop sign on one end, but nothing else on the other end. So there's really nothing to control the traffic from the other side. So,
Well, I would say thank you for bringing this to our attention, and thank you for coming out tonight in support of this. I think it's our pleasure to help, make this a reality. I'm sure this hasn't been a very easy process for you with the, setting the letters and all the requirements that are part of this, but we really appreciate your efforts.
no, I thank you so much.
Any questions or comments from the board?
Is this an effort that's worthy of trying to put these signs up at other locations that meet these qualifications?
I think it would have to be brought to us by the homeowner.
Yeah, we would know.
Right, I don't
No,
think
I
we would have
understand.
any, yeah.
But if we publicize what's going on, maybe
Yeah.
homeowners will come to us.
Maybe other homeowners would want these
Yes.
types of signs by
It's-
their house.
I mean, with all due respect,
homes.
it's unlikely you have the only child with autism.
But nowadays, oh yeah,
Yeah.
certainly not.
Yeah. So for anyone listening at home, or maybe we can
Put this on the
publicize
website
this
or
in some
something.
way.
Yeah.
To let people know that this is a possibility for them, because this may be something that others may want as well.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, I belong to a lot of autism groups, and I'm always researching every day and doing whatever I can best for my daughter.
Great.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Chris, were you going to say
Call the
something?
roll? Nope.
No, do we have a motion and second?
Yes.
Okay. Then yes, please.
Trustee Epstein?
Yes.
Trustee Epstein? Trustee Heiser?
Name's Heiser, yeah.
I know, I got caught. I got caught in my throat. Trustee Crum?
Yes.
Trustee Morlino?
Yes.
Mayor Klein?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so
And,
much.
Chris, do we have any idea when the signs may go up?
No, we have to order them first. We have to get them.
Okay.
You got to get them in
So,
first.
but you can be in contact with village staff.
Yep.
Sure.
And they'll be able to keep you appraised of when the signs might be going in.
I can't wait. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You made my day. Thank you.
Thank you for your patience through this, because this has been a long meeting to get to this. All right, now we're on to resolution number 4, considering awarding contract number 25-15 paving.
Whereas the Village of Rybrook has solicited bids for contract 25-15 paving, and whereas the bid for this contract was advertised in the Journal News as the official newspaper on August 21st and was also made available in the Empire State Purchasing Group bid system, and whereas at 10 a.m. on Thursday, September 4th, all bids received were opened and are summarized below, and there's a total of 5 firms that bid: Montesano, Lorelei Industry, Sean's Lawns, ELQ, and Morano Brothers. and all their prices is listed in the resolution that's available online with the agenda. And whereas the village administrator and superintendent of public works have reviewed the bid submission and recommend that Sean's Lawns be selected as the lowest responsible bidder to complete the base bid and alternates 1 and 2. And whereas this contract allows for Rybrook to choose to utilize this contract in each fiscal year through May 31st, 2028, should it be in the best interest of the village based upon the escalation clause of the bid. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby awards this contract to Sean's Lawns of 47 West Ave, Greenwich, Connecticut as the lowest responsible bidder for the total base bid amount of $681,166.50, plus alternate 1 in the amount of $10,750 and alternate 2 in the amount of $15,000 for a total initial bid award of $706,916.50. And be it further resolved that the Rybrook can choose to utilize this contract in each fiscal year through May 31st, 2028, should it be in the best interest of the village, based upon the escalation clause in the bid. And be it further resolved, the mayor and administrator are authorized to execute and deliver all documents necessary or appropriate to accomplish the purposes of this resolution.
Thank you, Chris. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
Motion?
Second.
And Trustee Heiser, I know,
You know what I'm gonna say.
much to your dismay, actually, I think these are actually fairly,
Well-
it's not a huge outlier.
Well, except for the fact that the difference between the lowest and the highest is 20%, which is not insignificant, but as you know, it constantly amazes me, the range at which we get bids, as if they're all bidding on different projects.
Although sometimes I think that range is 150%.
Yes, no,
not
it's,
just the 20%.
this is a narrow range compared to some of the ones we've seen, but it's still, it staggers me.
All right,
And I should mention too, Joseph Nigro, right, from Sean's Lawns is here with us tonight.
Well, of course, thank you for bidding on the project. We look forward to seeing the great work you're going to complete in the village of Rybrook. Any questions or comments from the board?
No.
Does the bid include a comment or question? Question. Does the bid include removing the layer of current layer of asphalt and then putting new?
Yes, sir.
And it's the traditional method, not
2 inches off, 2 inches on.
okay.
So is it all mill and pave? I didn't even look at the bid.
I don't remember if it's all mill and pave,
Yeah,
but
probably there may be different
some
treatments
of the,
in different areas.
There's also 2 alternates. There's alternate 1 is a drainage swale along Westchester Avenue from North Rid Street, about 150 feet adjacent to Avon Circle. That's kind of right, that drainage area that kind of got washed away that needs to be repaired. And alternate 2 is replacing a 15-foot storm drain across Ridge Boulevard at Tamarack. So there's some other additional work in there as well.
Right.
A lot of this work is in Red Roof and Belfair. Not all of it, but much of it.
Right.
Other question. The village will do its normal notice process to.
Yeah, and the contractor and the village, and we also, we'll have plans on to have people on site for inspections at the plant. Mr. Nigro is also going to be on site the whole time as well. He's given us those assurances as well. So, we did go through. We haven't worked in the past in Rybrook, but we've checked references, which all spoke very highly of the firm.
I actually had baked in your village before.
You have, but not with this company. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Trustee Epstein?
Yes.
Trustee Heiser?
Yes.
Trustee Crom?
Yes.
Trustee Morlino?
Yes.
Mayor Klein?
Yes, thank you. Resolution number, and again, thank you. We look forward to seeing the work in the village. Resolution number 5, considering modifying the date. I'm just gonna not dates. The date of the village board meeting in September. Second meeting in September.
Yes. Now therefore be resolved that the Rybrook Board of Trustees hereby cancels the regular meeting scheduled for September 23rd and schedules a meeting on September 25th due to the holiday scheduling conflicts.
Thank you, Chris. Can I have a motion and second, please?
So moved.
Second.
And I would say that this was brought to my attention prior to our previous meeting. However, I forgot to mention it, so I apologize for that. But we did. I did speak to Chris very quickly on this matter, and because we had not set any public hearings at that point, we were fine. So, all right.
We didn't call the roll yet?
No.
Trustee Heiser? Trustee Epstein? Sorry. Trustee Epstein.
This is what worries me. They can't keep us straight.
Trustee
She's
Epstein.
Epstein.
It's
I'm
okay.
Heiser.
I know.
I'm always first. I'm happy to go not first sometimes, but yes is the answer. Thank you,
Really mix it
Chris.
up next time.
Yeah.
Trustee Epstein?
She said yes.
Trustee Heiser?
I did.
I'm going to wait till
When
you
is-
say my name
When's
twice
Greg back?
also.
When is Greg coming back? Trustee Crom?
Yes, yes,
Trustee Morlino?
yes.
Mayor Klein?
Yes. Thank you.
You're missing my
Resolution
name,
number
huh?
6.
Huh?
You're not missing my name, huh?
I need Greg back.
Resolution number 6, consider
I'll
the
be.
renewal of an agreement with Auctions International for bidding surplus equipment.
Whereas on November 24th, 2020, the Board of Trustees approved an agreement with Auctions International for the bidding of municipal surplus, and whereas Rybrook seeks to renew this agreement, now therefore be resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves an agreement with Auctions International for bidding of municipal surplus through 2027, subject to modification by council. Be it further resolved, the mayor and administrator are authorized to sign and execute all documents for the purpose of entering into this agreement. And be it further resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves Auction International as an authorized bidding site for municipal surplus.
Thank you, Chris. Can I have a motion second, please?
So moved.
Second.
I think that was a tie on the first one. And, yeah.
But who?
But who? Whoever's listed least, I guess. No, I mean, obviously we've had some good success,
We have.
better
We've
successes
actually
in
done
some
great,
things
yeah,
than
lately.
others.
No, we've done great lately.
Yeah.
They auction off our surplus equipment.
Our surplus.
Okay, we're not buying.
No, this is our surplus,
surplus.
And may we
When we after the board declares items as surplus, then we put it on Auctions International, and then whoever bids for the highest amount for our equipment, it comes back to the board for approval.
still that one vehicle holds the
Yes.
cake of the highest bid on my tenure on the board. at
Yes.
least, that I've seen. All right, I think. Any questions or comments from the board?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I'm going to take it slow. Trustee
Start with
Epstein.
Epstein.
Trustee Epstein.
Yes.
Trustee Heiser.
Yes.
Trustee Crom.
Yes, sir.
Trustee Morlino.
Yes.
Mayor Klein.
Yes, thank you. Resolution number 7, considering a stipend for a secretary, planning board, zoning board of appeals, and architecture review board.
Whereas the Secretary of the Planning Board, Zoning Board, and Zoning Board of Appeals and Architecture Review Board, Tara Orlando, has agreed to take on additional responsibilities in the building department due to a temporary staff shortage, and whereas the Village of Rybrook wishes to compensate this employee while performing these additional responsibilities, now therefore be resolved that the Secretary, Planning Board, Zoning Board of Appeals, and Architecture Review Board, Tara Orlando, be provided a stipend of $250 per paycheck effective August 21st, 2025 for additional responsibilities in the building department due to a temporary staff shortage, and be it further resolved this stipend shall end when the current department vacancy is filled.
Thank you, Chris. Can I have a motion and a second,
So
please?
moved.
Second.
Yeah, and we really thank Tara for all that she's been doing. We know it's not easy when
Especially when we're going all the permitting online, too.
right when you're moving the permitting online, and it's never easy when we're short staffed in one area or another, and other people have to step up into other roles. And we really appreciate all of the effort that everyone gives in for all of our staff in the Village of Rybrook.
Thank you.
I must say, I hear nothing but extreme compliments about Tara from the chair of the planning board and from the zoning board of appeals.
She really does an outstanding job, and said her job really at this point now is to plan, work on all three of those boards and coordinate their agendas, the applications, the online system as well, managing that. It's a big job. But with Laura Peterson moving on to a job that was closer to her home, Tara also was cross-trained to help out, when Laura and Tara would both help each other out, especially when one would be out and the other one had to help. So Tara's done a great job really stepping up and taking on Laura's responsibilities as much as she can as well. So we are looking to move on that position ASAP. We canvassed it right away. We have and we're looking to. I think the deadline is like another week away for all the responses to come in.
Great.
Wonderful.
Great, and then once we get them in, right, yeah. we'll-
Interview. They're going to have to give notice, so you're probably looking another month and a half.
Okay, yeah, before we get someone into the position, right, because we're gonna have to go through the paperwork.
Then they got to give notice and everything else.
Right. Okay, wonderful. Well, we look forward to meeting the new person when they're hired. Any questions or comments from the board?
No.
And again, thank you to Tara for stepping up, and we are very happy to be passing this resolution.
Yes.
So,
Do the roll. Trustee Epstein?
Yes.
Trustee Heiser?
Yes.
Trustee Crom?
Yes.
Trustee Morlino?
Yes.
Mayor Klein?
yes, thank you. Administrator's report.
I just have a few items. This Friday, September 12th at 6:30 p.m. at Pine Ridge Park, Andrea and the Armenian Rug Riders will be playing. So we're looking for good weather this time. We've had a few stops and starts, but Andrea is such a popular band. We really would like to make sure that the community gets to enjoy, the great music that they put out. And thanks to Trustee Epstein for working with Andrea and making sure we get that done.
Oh, thank you. Sorry. Tired of traveling. I've been
Our new
traveling
firefighter
nonstop.
started last week, and today is his first day at the academy. So, he's now going through that process. We look forward to getting him back following when the academy is over. We had a great turnout at our Rybrook seniors at last week when, as you know, we closed down for about 2 weeks, and they do some major painting and renovations and the floors and waxing and all this other stuff they do. But we now had a reopening, and it's just everyone was so excited for a whole nother year. It's really, Liz does such a great job there with her staff too. We have our babysitting class that starts next month, so anyone in the community, that's a really popular program that's coordinated by our fire department, and it involves all other agencies, and it teaches the children in the community how to what to do if there's a fire, or if somebody knocks on the door, or if there's a first aid issue that has to come in. We bring in EMS and the police department and educators, and it's really a great program. And then afterwards, if they maintain a list there, if the parents approve, then they can give out names of people that have been through that program in the community, and they can hire people if the parents approve that for that process to happen. But it's really a great opportunity. It's always a nice turnout for that. Online permitting, we're working through that in the building department and working out all the little bugs on that as we go. Give some flexibility for the paper where we have to, but we're really just trying to hold hands and kind of walk through the process and get everybody used to that new system. Auditors are just finishing up from their in-house visit, so we've had our auditors in and out already, which is really great. Trish is always on top of that to make sure we start and get that done and get in line in the queue very early in the process. This was an interesting one too, because this is not, the audit's not complete, but this is the on-site portion of it. But remember, we also had the single audit that was required as part of because of the amount of money received for the NRCS program. So the buyout program that we had for the property. So there's a whole another level of auditing we had to go through on that. But everything seems to be going very well. Last thing is just a interesting thing on civil service. New York State has announced that they're going to be going through a massive change in how people are hired for competitive positions. There's still a lot of details to be worked out, and our county, our Commissioner of Human Resources, who's really fantastic, as well as our local liaison as a deputy commissioner in Human Resources, Gina Piconich, and Lisa Denig as a commissioner, they just did a webinar today, and there's a major announcement. So New York State is looking for the first time in many, many decades, looking to completely transform how people are hired in the government. And it's going to take effect next year already. They're targeting next year to start at mid to late next year, where it's going to be based on where people are going to go for competitive positions, and it's not going to be test-based. It's going to be based on your basic education and experience. And you're going to have so generally, again, there's a lot of details to be worked out. the municipality would, for instance, post a position that was competitive, people will be able to apply for it on the spot, and you'll be able to get that process rolling without having lists that are 4 years old and, you know, things like that. You won't be taking a test. Promotional positions will still be tested, but for all the competitive positions, they're looking to not do tests anymore, which is interesting. Police and fire are still going to be the old process, so they haven't got worked on that one yet. But that's a major transformation in how civil service is operated in New York State. And quite honestly, most people, we're all very excited to have some changes. I mean, it's really been kind of stagnant for a long time.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
How long is it?
Chris, did anyone attend the? I wasn't able to.
There was a couple hundred people on the webinar today.
Anyone from Rybrook? I would
Yeah,
assume.
I was on, and Trish
Right.
was on.
So I mean,
Trish and I were
how
both
are
on
they?
it.
Is it still going to be top 3 candidates? How
It's,
do they?
well, I'm not,
ties?
I don't know that yet. They didn't say that. There's a lot of details they don't have. This was just
Right.
announced. But the commissioner has been part of a working group of all the commissioners in New York State that are working towards this, and they're all going to be working on it. But I can tell you, like, they're talking about not giving any more exams even from now until then. They're stopping
Wow.
the process for exams because this is all they want to concentrate on. They want to get this done by mid-year next year.
Oh, wow.
Right. Yeah.
It's not unusual in the private sector to have this kind of a process where they will rank people based on other, based on their education and experience.
Right.
But here, this is a vastly different change, big change from where we've been, which is really welcomed.
Yet I believe
So
there
other
are
states do
still
this?
announcements going out.
Are other states?
What's that? On what? Oh, there's still announcements being posted?
Oh yeah, there's still announcements being posted for.
I guess they're
upcoming
finishing
exams,
anything
so I
that's
guess
been
they're
announced.
finishing,
Yeah. But she told us today, we were told today, that the testing is going to stop
Gotcha.
When?
because all the staff is being reallocated to this.
This is
Did they
going to be
when?
very
Did they say
interesting.
when it's
to
gonna
see.
stop?
Wow.
January?
I guess for anything new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if the testing's stopping now, then they're already transitioning over to the new.
Yep.
Because it would be, when you take a civil service exam, you wait about 3 months, sometimes more.
Yeah.
And you get your results back.
More than 3 years.
And
yeah.
we certainly know on the municipal hiring side that how frustrating it can be at times when there's someone who has the experience,
Mm-hmm.
but may not be as good of a standardized test taker.
Mm-hmm. Or think about it, we have a list might be 4 years old. How does somebody know 4 years ago if they might be interested in a position, say, in Rybrook?
Right.
That just may or may not ever even pop up.
That's
So
true
now
as
by
well.
posting it, you could even get somebody who's a recent graduate who's now that list. If that list in the past, if that list may not be offered for 4 years when somebody graduates.
Right.
Now that person may not have the experience yet, or maybe they do. But what it does is it makes it much more nimble and a lot quicker. And you can post a position, you know where it is. Oh, it's in Rybrook. Let's put our applications in and let's get this moving.
Hey, well, we're very interested to see where the state goes on this and
And the county's going to be giving.
where it lands.
The commissioner's going to give, I think, quarterly meetings. It sounds like going forward. To
Okay.
give us updates.
Wow.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, I will certainly try and attend as many as I can, for various reasons. All right. Any other questions or comments from the board? Yes, Trustee Heiser.
One final time, I would like to say thank you to the Rybrook Police Force.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments from the board? Any other questions or comments from the public?
Nope.
Seeing none, the next meetings of the Board of Trustees are September 25th and October 14th, 2025. Thank you and have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is the...
Congratulations. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.